We have Jim Turner, General Manager, Kelly Manufacturing. Jim, what you up to lately besides no good?
Oh, well, just causing a lot of trouble.
Well, I please, seriously.
Yes, we've been in business since the 40s making products for the military and different things like this. And of course, everybody knows us from our mechanical products. And you and I talked many years ago, and we came out with some digital units to replace the old mechanical units that we have. And we've gone from making a digital attitude indicator to making a digital directional gyro to now a mini 6, which basically gives you a full 6-pack. Mm-hmm. Nice thing about our products is they're all TSO'd, which makes it real easy for us to get them installed in aircraft. And we'd like to introduce our new turn and bank indicator, and it's a turn and bank indicator as well as a turn coordinator.
All right.
And that's what's kind of different with us. You can actually, since it's digital, you can switch from one to the other without having to shut your plane down or do something with it. So it gives everybody an idea as to how they fly. The product's name is the RCA 8310.
Okay.
But it also ties into legacy autopilots. Mm. That's the nice thing. With the old mechanical units, everybody not making as many as they used to. We, like us as well, we still don't, we make probably a third of what we used to 10 years ago.
Right.
But this is where we came in with the digital units, and it's been very good for us.
That had to be a really tough transition.
It really was. We had a lot of people that work for our company, and it's really kind of interesting that the mother or father worked for our company, then their children have worked for our companies, and now we got grandchildren working for the companies. All my kids have worked there. Basically everybody that's there, they've got legacy involved in it. As we know, the mechanical units, it's getting harder and harder to get those worked on. Mm-hmm. And so we still repair our own units. We've gotten away from repairing anybody else's because it's harder to get parts. So we take care of our own products as well as try to stay up with the market, as I said, with the digital units now.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. What was the R&D process like when you made such a fundamental transition from one technology to the next?
It was very interesting. Everybody said you couldn't do it. It wasn't going to be very easy because...
Yeah, but that's the challenge that makes everybody
That's what it is. Originally, you had to build your own AHRs. Uh-huh. There were a couple other companies that had those, and so we bought one to begin with, and then we figured out, well, X, Y, and Z axis, it's great, but your circuit board's going to be twice as big as what it needed to be. And as we kept looking into it, we found that we can develop our own unit doing the same thing out of stock parts. Mm-hmm. We don't have to have special parts to do our product. So it's very easy, but we have great people that know how to program, and they've been able to go in and program our units to do what they want to do. And the other thing we do is we do everything TSO'd. So we look at what the maximum or the minimum set forth by the FAA, and then we go and try to meet those requirements.
How big a company is this? How's it constructed?
It's pretty much a family-oriented company.
Okay.
When I started, we were probably we had 200 employees, but we had Cessna and Beach in our plant every day picking product up.
Right.
That was the old days.
Yeah.
Then digital,
the
good old days, yes. And it's really interesting because a lot of people will buy a plane now that has the 6-pack in it, and it's got all of our older instruments in it.
Yeah.
But now we're down to about 45 or 50 people.
Okay.
When you go digital, it changes a lot of things. You don't have to have people that know how to calibrate and all this different things. We had a full machine shop that makes all of our own parts. And we still make a lot of parts for ourselves as well as some other people because we hold 2/10,000ths of an inch on everything we make.
Oh boy.
Because you have to when you're putting 200 parts in a 4x4 box. So, that's where we're at. The new digital stuff, it's this circuitry. We have somebody that makes our own boards for us, 3 boards in each unit, and that was planned for obsolescence. So, and if you want to know what the obsolescence is, we are able to, if you have one circuit board and you have a part go obsolete, you may have to redesign the whole circuit board. Now we have 3 circuit boards. You have one part go obsolete. You still have 2 other circuit boards in there that you don't have to worry too much about. And COVID, I guess, was good to us because we found parts that would match up and work with the old parts and the old programming. Because you had to look at that time during COVID.
There you go. Well, that's one way to get around it,
Yes.
isn't it? Indeed. The industry right now is talking about hiring, training, certifying, getting good tech help out there.
Right.
How's it going for you?
Very tough.
Yeah.
It really is. As I said,
Even in the land of aviation?
in the land of aviation, yes. I'm part of the Wichita Manufacturing Association, and I get to work with a lot of the universities and things around getting talent to come to work in Wichita. Our biggest problem right now is the National Institute for Aviation Training at WSU is there, and they used to train people how to do the calibrations and how to set up the older instrumentation. Well, today they said that nobody wants to enter that class, so they've basically taken those classes away.
Oh, no.
So now it's back to us manufacturers to try to train these people.
Oh, boy.
So it's been very challenging.
Well, I get us Kelly Manufacturing University, huh?
That's pretty much it. We're at a situation where, as I said, a lot of it is legacy. People have come down and they've worked for us for many years. Their kids come in and work. But we're seeing a lot of that. They're looking for more options anymore. And it just makes it a little tough on the industry itself.
I can believe it.
And we talked to a lot of people from Houston and Texas and California and Florida, and they ask if we have a technician that wants to move in, and they just are not there. But that's where the digital world is taking us.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to look at AEA's new certification and training system?
We've had a little bit of chance to look at that. We've chatted with a couple of the people. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down. We've been very busy at the booth, and I get all those emails, and it's one of these things I just haven't really had time to take a look at it very well.
Well, we're hoping that it drives the industry forward, and especially with the certification angle, being able to put people in the field with some sense of preparation.
Right, and that is what's needed. You know, we can train people how to install product, but once it breaks, you got to have to have somebody that knows what they're doing in order to fix it as well.
I understand. Good grief. So what's in the future?
Well, we are looking at a couple different things. Full digital 6-pack, which would be the 6 units all digital.
Okay.
And we'd be running off of 2 AHRs on that rather than running off every unit having an AHRs.
Okay.
Make it a little simpler. Then those pilots that want to go digital and lose weight, they can do that without a problem. We will do everything certified. That's a good place for us to be. We just need to work on doing the AML STCs on our product so there can be a drop-in replacement. But according to the FAA right now, is if you're replacing a part that's TSO'd with a part that's TSO'd, it should be a drop-in replacement with just a sign-off. We're looking at working with some autopilot people. We have one other project, and it's with some people from SpaceX. And it's going to be a very interesting project, and they'll be announcing something maybe at Sun and Fun. They announced something at the Heli Expo or Verticon last week, and we're in that project with them. They're a standalone company, and they want individual companies to be part of that rather than, I hate to say it, I love the Garmin people, they're great, but they don't want Garmin because Garmin would be doing the same thing they're doing if they tried to do it. So
yeah, no, we're familiar with the R&D standing for rip off and duplicate. So yeah,
yeah.
One of those things. What can you do?
Well, that's like my father. He was with King Radio Corporation, and he helped Garmin set up their marketing. I told him, Dad, that just kind of messes me up when you do that. So,
oops.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do to get ahead.
Oh yes.
The overall health of the industry. You've been to a number of these shows.
Yes.
How do you feel the industry's doing right now?
Well, we think it is very strong right now. With all the incidents going on with the airlines, we're hearing more and more of what's going on, but we're seeing more and more younger people learning to fly and are out there. And so there's going to be a change with the FAA. There's going to be a change with a lot of this stuff. I think there's going to be more smaller airports going into some of these bigger areas to accommodate some of the larger corporate jets.
One can only hope.
Yes, yep. Well, it's like Vegas. You have Henderson Airport, and it's very close to the major airport, and a lot of people are flying in there rather than going into the major airport.
There you go. The overall tone of the industry right now, waiting for Washington to figure out how they're going to do business in the future. How is that affecting you?
It's not. We really don't look at that. We look at the future as what can we do to improve ourselves.
Right.
And as long as we're continually improving with our product, everybody talks about lithium batteries. Well, our lithium battery is well below the minimum anyways, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But we want to bring it into the state if we can, or into the United States, rather than getting everything from China.
Yeah.
The biggest problem we see with them is you don't get all the documentation that you need in reality.
Yeah.
So we want to do a little more here in the States, and there's some companies we're trying to work with to maybe import the information but build everything here in the States, so we have a little more control over things. But as far as the government goes, we're not worried about that. What it's going to be is going to be.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep going.
It should shake out eventually, but boy, I'll tell you what, the guesswork right now, all things Washington, is incredibly entertaining, if not a little disconcerting, to say the least. So we're waiting to see just how it all shakes out.
Very true. Very true.
But at the end of it, as difficult as it seems right now, I'm hoping that something better is going to result.
Well, we're seeing the aircraft manufacturers, Cessna, or basically Textron bought out Cessna, then they bought out Beech. In Wichita, we're happy that happened because we wanted to keep that basically part of Wichita.
Yeah.
Then you have other companies being bought out. It's kind of like the car companies. Everybody doesn't like, if you don't like Tesla, that's fine, but the smaller companies that are making electric cars are basically going out of business because they can't maintain. But we're looking at electric aircraft as well. And the nice thing about our product is it draws so little power that it worked great for an electric aircraft. And so we're trying to work with some of the people on that as well.
Excellent. Well, Jim Turner from Kelly Manufacturing, we enjoyed spending a little time with you and throughout the week as well. Keep us up to date on what's new.
We definitely
obviously
will.
You have a few things in the pipeline, and we'll of course see you next 2 weeks. It's Sun and Fun.
Yep.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 68th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.